Shalom, Rabbi.
Ketvach Shvatov. We are learning Mishna Yevamos, Parak Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishnah 5. Now, I have given you this chart here, so we should get a picture of what we're going to be discussing. Now, so take a look at the top line of your chart. Okay, just take a look at the top line right now. So in our situation here, we have two brothers married to two sisters. Now on the bottom here, I have so I call them brother one, brother two, sister one, sister two, sister one, sister two. Okay, brother one married, brother. Just look at the top line right now. Don't figure out the whole thing. Okay, you've got brother one and sister one married, brother two and sister two married. Okay, on the bottom of them all is brother three. He's not married. Just to keep it simple, right now. He's not married. So now, when brother one and brother two, now the story in the Mishna is like this. And I tried depicting it by the fact that I have a circle that says first step, okay, means that brother one died. Brother one died. He died. He was the only one who died at step number one. At step number one, he was the only one who died. Okay, so theoretically, his sister one, who was brother one's wife, fell to Yibam, to sister. Fell to brother three. She actually fell to Yibam to any of the two brothers. Right? She could fall to Yibam at this point in time. Well, actually, no, she can't fall to brother two because it's his wife's sister. So he's not falling to brother two, but she's falling to brother three. Okay, so she falls to brother three. Brother three, okay, then goes and does what a good brother-in-law should do. He's going to do the mitzvah of Yibam, and before he does the mitzvah of Yibam, he does what's called, and we've had this before, it's called Maimer, and I wrote that here in those two lines that connect sister one and brother three. Those words, if you can make it out, it says Maimer. Maimer is a kedushin. Before you marry a woman, you do kedushin. Give her a ring, right? For a Yevama, for a woman who falls to you for Yibam, your sister-in-law, who now have a mitzvah of Yibam on, according to Torah law, there is no kedushin on. You don't have to do kedushin. You don't have to do kedushin to make her her wife. You cohabit with her, she becomes your wife. But there is something called Maimer, which means that before you actually cohabit with her, you actually do what you would do with any woman. You do kedushin on her. You do an act of kedushin, act of betrothal. You give her a ring. Okay, you give her a ring. What you accomplish with that is, typically what you accomplish with that is that if there would be other brothers who could do Yibam, they can't do the Yibam anymore. You're the one who gets the first shot at Yibam at this point. Now, so this brother went ahead. Now there maybe you can do a mimer even if there aren't other brothers around. But so brother three did Yibam on sister one. Sister one fell to him for Yibam. Brother one died. Sister one fell to him for Yibam. Okay, at this point everything is kosher. Everything is fine. He does a mimer on her. He does the kedushin, the betrothal on her. And then what happens is that brother two dies. Brother two dies, he has no children. His wife, sister two, now falls to brother three, right? Because he's the only surviving brother. However, the issue here now is, though, that when sister two fell to brother three for Yibam, he already made Maimer, he already made Kedushin, already betrothed sister one. So is sister one considered his wife? And if she is considered his wife, then the other woman now falls to him for Yibam. There's no Yibam on her because it's his wife's sister. That's a regular case of an erva falling to Yibam. All right? So that's the picture here. That's the situation here. That's the situation. When sister two falls to brother three for Yibam, he already is somewhat married, right, to her sister, which should make sister one his wife, and sister two his wife's sister, who therefore there's no Yibam on whatsoever. Okay? That's the situation here. So now let's go to the Mishnah and see halachically what happens in this scenario. So again, Perek Gimel, chapter 3, Mishnah Hey, Mishnah 5. Shloisha Achin. You've got 3 brothers. Shnayim mehen nesum shtei achayos. 2 of the brothers are married to 2 sisters. The echad mufna, and one of them is single. There's a 3rd brother, he's single. Now, meis echad mibale achayos. One of the brothers married to one of the sisters, died. He was the only one who died at this point. Vasaba mufna maimer. The 3rd brother, the single brother, then went and did mamer in her. He did the kedushin that's done to a Yevama. The achakach meis achiv hasheni. And then the 2nd brother died. So now sister 2 fell to the 3rd brother, who was unmarried, but has now did mimer to the 1st sister. So here is, we're going to have a machlek. It's an argument between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. What's the halacha? Beis Shammai oimrim ishtoi imoi. Beis Shammai say his wife is with him. That means he stays together with the woman he did mimer on. V'alo teitze bishum achos isha. And the sister too, the other one who just fell now to Yibam, she goes free because she is the wife of his sister. According to Beis Shammai, when you do mimer on a Yevama, that works min haTorah. Mimer is something that works min haTorah, even though you don't need it for a Yevama. But if you do it, according to Beis Shammai, the Torah recognizes it as a kedushin. That means that sister 1 is 100% married to brother 3, to the brother who was single. And therefore, when his other brother dies and his wife, sister 2, falls to him for Yibam, she is the sister of his wife. She's a full-fledged erva, and there's no Yibam on her whatsoever. She goes free. There's no zika, there's no yibam bond whatsoever. She goes free, and the woman that he made mimer on, he stays married to her, and he continues on. That's according to Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel oimrim, Beis Hillel say no. Moitzi asishtoi begeda b'chalitza. His wife, meaning the one he made mimer on, he has to give her a get, has to give her a divorce, and he has to do chalitza on her. Veishas achav b'chalitza. And sister 2, the wife of his brother who just died, he also has to do chalitza on her. Why is that? Because Beis Hillel say the mimer that you do, the kedushin that you do on a Yevama, doesn't work according to Torah law. It's only a rabbinic law. It's something the rabbis instituted to do. And therefore, according to Torah law, that the sister 1 was never his wife. Sister 1 was the woman who fell to him for Yibam. He has Yibam connection on her. Now sister 2 falls to him, and she also has Yibam connection to him. What happens when you have 2 sisters falling to you for Yibam at the same time? You can't do Yibam, because each one, as we learned previously, is the sister of the woman connected to him for Yibam. So you can't do Yibam here. And therefore, going back to sister 1 had a kedushin done on her, a rabbinic kedushin, but a kedushin. Well, he can't marry her. So what do you got to do now? Because now, what do you do with the kedushin? You got to give her a get. You got to give her a divorce. At the same time, being that according to Torah law, she was connected to you for Yibam, and you can't do Yibam, but she has a bond to you, how do you free her? You give a chalitza. And sister 2, who fell to him from the 2nd brother, she only had a Yibam connection to him, and she had it because the other woman was not the wife of the brother. She was only the one connected to him for Yibam. Mm-hmm. So therefore, she also has Yibam connection, and if you want to free her, you got to give her chalitza. And then Mishnah concludes, Zuhi sha'amru. This is what the sages were referring to when they said, Oy loy alishtay. Woe to him about his wife, v'oy loy aleshes achiv, and woe to him about the wife of his brother. Meaning, this guy, he loses on all accounts. He cannot stay with his wife, meaning the one he did mimer with, and he cannot be married to the wife of his brother. Because at the end of the day, if mimer doesn't work according to Torah law, they both connect him for Yibam, and since they both connect him for Yibam, each one is a sister of the woman connected him for Yibam, and they're forbidden. So this is where the sages said, that this statement, woe to him over his wife, and woe to him over the wife of his brother. And the halach is like Beis Hillel. Okay. Now, so the Chofetz Chaim was talking about where you are disparaging a person by saying that he's not so smart or wise or knowledgeable, and he is elaborating now on the damage that that person could do when they do that. And he exhorted us to say that we care about our own honor. We'd be very upset if people would speak about us like that, and all the more so. We should be careful about therefore we should be careful how we speak about other people. Now, Dalit. This is going to be true if you just say he's not knowledgeable in worldly matters. He's not a very smart guy. He's not very knowledgeable, very simple-minded. And all the more so, how much more of a serious sin it is if you say about a person who is considered in the city, a person who is wise in Torah, v'hu amar alav she'eino chacham kol kach, and now you go and say about that person, he's not so learned. Rak matu yedei b'Torah, he knows a bit, he can get by. Val yedei zeh nismat madregasa b'neihem, and because of that, now his stature has now been lowered. Bavad b'chlal avon lashon hara v'afilu hu emes. It is certainly lashon hara, even if it's true. Because what purpose do you have in saying that? All you're doing is just lowering someone from his stature in front of the people listening. Because through this, whatever situation he's in, he can either be damaged or at least, feel embarrassed and suffer from it. So he gives two examples. Let's say you're talking about a person who's the rabbi of a city. And you say, he's not really that learned. He knows enough to get by. Even if it's true, the problem is now you're going to be lowering his stature in people's eyes. Because of that, you could actually affect his living. Maybe they'll get rid of him. Maybe they won't go to him to adjudicate cases that people typically pay for. Or he says, if let's say the person is someone who is not necessarily a rabbi in the city, but imagine someone who's a newlywed. And you have to understand a little bit more the culture that was going on then. If a person, there were people that, they took who they thought was a Talmid Chacham, a young budding Torah scholar for a son-in-law, and they would support him, right? And now you say about him, he knows a little bit, nothing special. Man, that is going to be quite embarrassing to him, because if his in-laws hear about what people are saying about him, that could cause a lot of strife and a lot of problems. So these are just, again, he's elaborating on, if you say about a person that they're not so wise in Torah, again, very often, depending on their stature, it could cause terrible suffering, right? It can cause financial damage. And then, as he said before, even if the person may not be in any of these situations, the mere fact that people say about a person that he's not so wise in Torah, right? That again, for many people, that could be something that is embarrassing and hurtful. And therefore, he says, again, this is one of those types of lashon hara that is very hard to find a situation where it's for a constructive purpose. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
All right.